Oh, it's done for tiny heads too. That's good.
So remember how I said you need to have that on your lips?
Just got it on.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I was just checking.
There you go.
Just checking. So, oh yeah, okay.
I feel like I'm in the cockpit right now with all the noises outside. I just sound so loud.
It says excellent connection, but well, it says live. It says two people are on. Oh, really? Is that your mum? Well, I haven't got an email yet. But I can check by going to YouTube.
It says live on.
There we go. All right, turn that down. It says excellent connection. Oh, wow. All right, we're live, and I don't even have my headset on. Let me get my headset on. As we watch some cars coming out of pit lane. Nice Falcon. Here we go. Headset is going on. Oh, nice looking R33. Well, it's an R33. Skyline. Okay, the Yaris GR. Smell. Oh, yeah, they got a 360. Guess where we are. Yes. So today you've got Sarge here. I'll take the driving for the first little while, but reintroducing Nina to the co-pilot seat.
Hopefully you'll be able to hear me today. Hello, everyone.
So see how I speak and see how this comes up here.
Yeah.
See how yours does too. Right. So let's see if I can. So.
You're gonna make. Yep.
Yeah.
How
Like, what's this? What's this? See? Yeah. Lead by example. We're just talking about the microphone touching our lips, which is where you want the microphone to be when we are got the headsets on and live stream.
It's just a new feeling to something do that.
Yeah. I'm actually going to just adjust the threshold. See, keep talking. No, but I don't want to melt it. I'm not confident about doing it. Anyway, I'm going to adjust your sound.
Looking forward to that in such a wonderful, beautiful sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Look how much green you've got.
Could we go down to just over the border? Yeah, we're at Lakeside. I have seen some interesting.
Oh,
It wasn't a car.
that's what. Hey, they look, that is Ford's equivalent to the Gem. And I'm a Ford boy. Yeah. So she bleeds red and I bleed blue. Actually, we both drive Toyotas. Mine's got a Lexus badge on the front, but we all know it's a Toyota. I don't know. Maybe the Americans don't. maybe the Americans don't know that it's actually. Look at that lineup going up the hill. They're all being held up by a Commodore. Is that a Commodore holding them up? You see some overtaking. Oh yeah, one of the best corners in Australian on Australian racetracks. There's some overtaking. Go the Falcon, just blows the Commodore away. So does the Skyline. So does the so does the. But it's going to catch that Commodore pretty quick. So we are starting our live stream today at the famous Lakeside Raceway in southeast Queensland. I like this fitting place to start. Just so happens they have a track day.
They do have a few events out here if he's interested in having a look on their Facebook.
Well, just out to the left, what we can't really see is go-karts. There's go-karts on the skid pan racetrack. It's like a defensive driving track out the back of Lakeside Raceway, and yeah, currently there's go-karts flying around there having a go-kart day. So that's cool. As the Falcon comes past, followed by the Skyline, then the Golf leading the Porsche. Look at like I called it, the Yaris GR is about to overtake the Commodore. Look at that 3-cylinder overtake the V8. So does the Audi. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, that Commodore's pretty. It looks good going slow. All right, how about we have one more lap? We'll have a few more of the cars come past as the Beamer comes down the straight.
Didn't know they had go-karts in. I didn't have to drive all the way to Sunshine Coast to do it.
Oh, I think that like private, that's like a competition. You can't hire those ones, no.
They're the ones you want to drive.
Well, they're the fast ones. But... Up the hill. We've got that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Commodore's lost it up the hill. I mean, he was already going. Oh, he's going slow anyway, and then he's backed it in on the grass. He's looped it. Oh, and the grass is quite wet, so you need to be very careful.
He's staying.
No, he's back up on the track right now, so there we go. We'll wait till he comes to the pits, or if he comes back around the straight, as we watch the BMW overtaking the Porsche Cayman. Staying out on the track, he's just going super slow, and he's on the racing line. He's going super slow on the racing line. Now, that is moronic behaviour as the Falcon and Skyline go either side. All right, Nina. Let's make a move. You go, and we'll finish up there with the Yaris GR flying along the straight. I know.
Anyone else?
So, yeah, it's a demountable. Well, put it this way. The owner of Lakeside Raceway used to also own Queensland Raceway. I'll say his first name, John. When Tony Quinn bought Queensland Raceway, the first thing he did was got in there with his own bare hands and cleaned the toilets and put in new toilets, because there were so many complaints from a lot of the men, because obviously motorsport is, mostly the interested people in motorsport is mostly men, but they want to be able to invite their girlfriends and wives and daughters and stuff. And the complaint was that the toilets were so disgusting that women did not come to the racetrack because they had no water. That's number one. 100%. Like, it's easy for a guy to just stand there and do his business and not really worry about it. But you ladies, when you're seated during your performance, it's and the toilets are crap.
Did you zoom back out?
Oh, let's zoom back out. How's Nina? She's all over it. All right, so at least someone's commented already.
Was that not you?
Yeah, that was definitely me. But I commented
Before the stream started.
before the stream started. Thought I'd get in first.
We have 4 people viewing.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for joining us as we leave Lakeside Raceway, heading back towards Dacabin train station.
All those people viewing, don't forget to like,
Please like. That's nice.
subscribe. It's free.
How many times do you watch live streams and get told to like and subscribe and hit the notification
I
bell?
do it.
I don't like saying it because it's almost like people. It's like saying, "Oh, don't you know? Don't you know that's what you should do?"
I just get involved with what's happening and totally forget when we say it. I'm like, definitely because I like what you're doing.
I mean, are you watching us?
No,
Okay, so I'm watching us.
there's 5.
So Sarge is watching Driving Live Australia. It's 5.
It's champion. Has he liked it?
I'll
remind you. Hey, there we go.
there we go. Thank you.
You are welcome.
So, a little bit about what we're doing today. We are going to drive from the northern side of Brisbane. We're mostly highway driving today. But we're going to drive interstate into northern New South Wales, and we are going to end up at the Byron Bay Lighthouse, which, for those people who don't know, is the very eastern part of the Australian mainland. I'm just going to point out this spot right here. Just here. Just the dip in the road right here. And just right this area, just outside of Lakeside Golf Course. I'm gonna chat to and I pointed it out. I'm gonna have a chat. That's off air, because it's a significant place in Australian history, in my history. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Well, it's a sad story. Actually, you know what? There's a Lolux fuel cap. No, it's not too low. No. Okay. So just outside Raceway, Lakeside Raceway, many moons ago, I was engaged to a beautiful young lady, and she lost her life there. Right. But this is actually appropriate. So, all right. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do a channel like this is because road safety is massive. Obviously, if a life gets taken, so like, my fiance was 19 at the time, and it crushed me. It crushed me, right? And 2 other girls died in that car on that day, wet road. My fiance was in the back seat. The girl that was driving was just a small little Mazda, so not a very big and protective car. And she lost control in the wet and ended up on the wrong side of the road and got hit by a four-wheel drive. All 3 girls died instantly, and no problems with the guy and the daughter in the four-wheel drive. However, obviously, shock and a lot of feelings terrible, even though they did nothing wrong, and also the driver of the four drive did absolutely nothing wrong. So, and it was inexperienced. He played a driver in the wet. I'm going to say that speed was. I'm not saying that she was speeding. I'm just going to say she wasn't driving to the conditions, and lost control, and ended up on the wrong side of it. So a channel like this is a lot about road safety, talking about road rules, driver etiquette, and motoring culture.
Yeah.
And so the loss of her that's one of the main reasons why I've wanted to do a channel like this for.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, so there were crosses up there next to the fence ever since it happened. unfortunately, I passed there late last year. And look, for a while, I could see that the crosses had been deteriorating, and I've been keen to fix them up and stuff like that. But I came past late last year. I actually stopped in at Lakeside, and I thought I'd have a quick look and noticed that they were basically lying on the ground. Somebody had picked them up and placed them against the fence. Um, so I've actually got the crosses at my house, but they're in a state of disrepair. Um, so I don't know that placing them back up there. I've spoken, I've let as many people know as possible that were related and to the girls. So
Have they suggested not to?
oh look, I just said, look, I've got them at home. I don't know, like they were up there for a long time, so I don't know if putting them back up there is like maybe it's time to move on. Like I mean, I've moved on. That's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is maybe that the crosses that were there, they had their time, and now you know
Yeah.
I'll still remember,
Yeah.
obviously.
Family.
Yeah, look, absolutely. So yeah, okay. Well, let's let's that's sad.
That's sad, but
Well, I didn't really like.
it
I didn't-
shows us why you said what you do. It is people. We are refreshed and aware of road rules and etiquettes and all of the things that we need to know to be safe on our roads.
uh, People can be safe for sure. There's a lot of complacency. There's a lot of ignorance. Um, there's a lot of and there's too many people just taking too many chances. So yeah. Anyway, beautiful day. What a day. How do you like the rearview mirror that's actually backwards now?
It was frustrating looking at it.
Is it better now?
It's way better.
So
I don't know if it's like my OCD or what it was. It's just like
so Nina brought it up a couple of days ago that it would be better to have obviously we've got two cameras. One faces out the windscreen, the other faces out the rear window. And I've just had them both operating in their normal orientation, meaning the one looking out the front is obviously facing forwards. And I mean, the best way to understand it is that you can read the number plates on the cars in front of us forwards correctly. But when you look in your rearview mirror, you're looking at things in reverse.
Yeah.
So I've got this little rear view mirror up using the rear camera, but the orientation was forwards, meaning you could read number plates and stuff like that, but that's not reality when you're looking into a real rear view mirror.
It needed to be mirrored like a
mirror.
On the windscreen.
So at the click of a button, I was able to flip it horizontally to provide Nina her hit of OCD-ness. But I'll be honest, I had thought of it. It had crossed my mind, but then it had disappeared again. And that's your OCD versus my ADHD. And you won. But it reminded me that, yeah, that's a really good idea. Instantly, as soon as you said, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to do that. Didn't even need to think.
Yeah.
And I think now, and I've been looking at it when I look back at the street from last night. Things that come up on the left-hand side are then transferred across to the left-hand side of the front camera, which makes sense. I'm all down for it.
I had also seen that the logo had changed.
The logo has changed. Basically, it was a logo. The logo was just sitting on a black box. So, box. And it looked better.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I don't think anyone would disagree. Yeah, okay. No, you're right. It's an opinion, so I might choose to disagree just on the basis of being unagreeable. Disagreeable. I have to say unagreeable. Look up Urban Dictionary. I've just made a new word. So we're going to talk about a few things today. One of that I want to talk about is I had something happen to me this morning when I was riding my road bike, my push bike, with my friend Marty. We did, I know, I did 44 Ks. We met up at the Criterion track in just near the Gateway Artillery, and we rode out along the bike tracks and everything, and then you ride out to Nudgee Beach.
Lovely.
Right?
Jeez.
Well, we're not there long enough to get bit by midgies, luckily. Did you, as in riding 45 k's a day? I did 44 kilometres. I was not riding at 44 kilometres an hour.
Is it a motor?
That is elite athletes. Hell's no. No, we're riding for fitness. And Marty and so here's the deal. Marty and I are riding back along Nudgee Road. And there's a road rule that says that, so I'll picture it right. It's double white lines, it's single, two-way road, and people are going around us. We're riding two abreast. We're riding two abreast. We're about a metre apart, or maybe just a little bit closer. Having a chat, obviously, like cyclists do, and it's just the two of us. Other cyclists come past and what have you. But and cars, the road rule is you are allowed to cross double white lines when it's safe to do so to overtake a cyclist. That's the rule. I think I've got it in my road rules that we'll talk about later when we duck into another state. But I'm going to make a left hand go left to turn right. Let's do that.
This is not a turbo lane.
Well, nah, there's just two lanes that go up onto the well, they call it N1, but the Bruce Highway.
Nina contacts.
Oh, well, can I finish this story first? Is that okay? Or why not? I need to tell you about what this moron did to me. So we're riding two abreast, and then I hear behind me this guy leaning on his horn, and as he comes past in his full drive, he is like 2-3 inches away from hitting me. Now, oh, we got a red light. Oh, please run! Oh, he's hit it at the green. What a legend! Let's us go. The Porsche behind us did run a red light though. Did not even attempt to stop the start. So he misses me by about three or 4 inches. Now, the rule in Queensland and probably other states is you need to avoid cyclists by a metre. You need to give them a metre. Put it this way: 4 inches is 100 mil. That's 1/10 the distance, right? Now he was making a point. He was basically saying we were in his way. Now he's ended up pulling over and stopping. So I had a word with him. He was a bit hot-headed. He wasn't aggressive. He was just hot-headed. And he was, as I come up to him, he's like, "You guys can't do that, blah, blah, blah. You're in my way, basically in the way." Like, a lot of motorists don't like cyclists. I get that. I understand. But the thing is, cyclists have just as much privilege to be on the road as any driver that has a driver's license. It's a freaking privilege. It's not a right. Okay? And we have, as a cyclist, we have just as much opportunity to be there as any person driving the vehicle. So the deal is, it's also a very highly cycled route. There are so many cyclists use that. It's not like people driving along that don't know there's going to be cyclists along that route. So he said, basically, I said, "Mate, calm down, it's okay. But you think you're right, but even if you think you're in the right, you don't miss a cyclist by 100 mil. And he goes, well, if you're going to break the law, I'm going to break the law. So, okay, here's what he's saying. I'm breaking the law by riding 2 up, right, next to my riding partner. He then decides, well, if the cyclist is breaking the law, I'm going to break the law by missing him, scaring him, hitting the horn, and just missing him with my mirror, right, in his 4-wheel drive. Okay. And then I said, well, murder's breaking the law as well, then. Okay. And then he cuts me off and says, well, I'm not trying to murder you. I know. He goes, I know the width of my car. Right. So now, by this stage, Marty just wants nothing to do with it. But fair enough, 200. So he's about 20, 30 metres up the fence, just waiting for me. 100%. He's hit the horn. That's right. Okay. So anyway, he basically, I said, mate, no excuse. What I wasn't doing wasn't unsafe. What you did was unsafe. Anyway, he goes, yeah, no worries, mate. Have a good day. Like, he was actually semi-polite. There was no swearing. There was no profanity. There was no calling anyone's names. No one was swinging or anything like that. It was an adult conversation. It was slightly heated, but it was an adult conversation, right? So then he drives off. I go up to Marty. We start riding again. And then I said, did you hear most of that? He goes, no, and I explained it to him. And then he goes, you know, it's legal to ride 2 up. And so this moron, and I'm going to call him a name now. So because this is people who think they know the road rules, but they're wrong. Okay. And look, I think a lot of us are in this boat. But there's a difference between being wrong about a road rule and then pushing the agenda to the point where you're putting someone's life in safety and like, someone's life in danger. So this guy, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Marty sends me the writing, and this is basically says, yes, in Queensland, it is generally legal for cyclists to ride 2 abreast, provided they are no more than 1.5 metres apart. This rule applies to both bicycles and personal mobility devices, scooters and stuff. However, it is crucial to be aware of other road rules and safety laws and stuff. So it is legal in Queensland to ride 2 abreast. This moron thought he knew the road rules, saying, oh, you're in my way, you're not allowed to ride 2 abreast. If you're going to break the road rules, I'm going to break the road rules and put your life in danger. Okay, moron. There's no other words to describe him, but can't say it. So yeah, there you go. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate you digging there, mate. Marty got home and he texted that to me before I even got back to my place.
Maybe you could print it onto some shirts. Shirt.
You know, I've got some shirts of mine. I'm sure I can. Anyway, gonna look at the Porsche drive that ran the red light before. Yeah, the car doesn't sound as fine, mate. Not that anyone can hear it on the channel. So, it's what we can. Now, so we can continue with people who think they know the road rules, but they're just wrong. So, for instance, when you're in an 80 zone, there's a lot of road rage when people think keep left unless overtaking is applicable in an 80 zone. Now, it is if there's signs, but it's not if it's unsigned, like where we are right now. Well, I mean, it's a very speed zone, but we're slowing down with traffic. So, but we'll go through road rules, and this is one we need to talk about. But did you want to go through some road rules first? You've got some fun facts then.
I got some fun facts.
So we're going to come back. Oh, there's speaking, but there's sold there for speak. I'm using my quad lock ways is now. So
But you didn't want to say you like to know me.
absolutely. So here's the deal. I know how to get to Byron. I've been there a few times.
So people that like it, it costs you.
Yeah. Here's okay. Winging it has its place, and I get it. It's fine. So, but if you are winging it and then realise that you need to take this exit, and you've got to cross a couple of lanes to get there, and you start blocking the traffic, hitting brake lights, whilst everyone's doing something causing traffic, then no. But just take the next exit.
If it's just like a I can these days to change, I like to put out there. Those are the days that I would just drive. It means go, okay, I need to find a way to go. Yeah. Without something that's going to make me. But if I'm going to over it now without again, that's not big mates.
Yeah. Right. So, as Nina goes through these facts, one thing we're going to look at today for this entire drive down is that when it's a 3-lane motorway, that the middle lane usually, unless there's a slow moving vehicle in the left lane, that the middle lane is on average the slowest moving lane, and how that affects all the traffic. So we're going to concentrate on that as an aside. Nina's going to go through some fun things. Road news. Road news. What's going on in the Queensland roads, Nina? Yeah. She was going to. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to interrupt you. Yes. Yeah. So the RAV4 and I were both about to both from the left lane and the right lane merge into the middle lane. She saw I had my indicator on, so she backed off and went back in the left lane. I didn't budge because I saw her indicator on as the Porsche nails it up the left lane. And then we got some separation. Then we shit with the night. So there you go. There was some watching, but don't know. That's watching what's going on now. I'm sure we'll see somewhere where two cars actually almost hit each other because they're not watching each other. And then and there's people hitting brakes everywhere, so let's be careful. Now, I bet you were saying that on the Warrego Highway, a truck was transporting a wind turbine mast, section of mast. I've seen it. So what's happened is, have you seen the pictures? Let's talk about it. So I looked at this yesterday. So it's probably now it's probably so what's happened is a vehicle like this that is towing a monster piece of equipment, being these things are huge, right? These wind turbine masts are huge, and so are the turbine propellers themselves. But what happens is they've got pilot vehicles that lead the truck along the highway. Yeah. And normally when it's a big truck like this, it takes up both lanes because it's so wide. Anyway, they do it late at night usually because that's the best time to do this traffic. Well, they're going to take some way. We're not. LST. Bye-bye. Anyway, what's happened is the escort vehicle and pilot vehicle have taken the exit to bypass going underneath this bridge.
And the truck driver, for some reason, hasn't noticed, or they've not been on the radio or whatever. He's continued straight and driven under the bridge, and this mast has wedged itself, and it's that bad that the front end of the trailer that was hooked to the mast has broken away, and the mast is jammed. Yeah, with speed, yeah, he's probably doing like might be doing 60. Like that's the sort of speed that they said on the they talk about so fast. Yeah, yeah. So, and when there's low bridges or whatever, they usually get them raised or they take the bypass. So, what the truck was supposed to do was take the exit, go up to the top of where the bridge is, go across, and then come back down and back onto the flywheel. But for some reason, the truck didn't. It wedged this mast in under the bridge, and it's caused all sorts of damage to the point where they think that if they remove it, the bridge might collapse. So they're going to have to stop up before they remove this mast, and the bridge has to be demolished. It's going to. You keep reading. You keep reading what you're reading. It was it's jammed under. It's all like it's burned through and down the other side and wedged. So the back of the mast. So they kind of use the mast as like the body of its own trailer. So they attach an attachment, a towing attachment at the front, and then they put wheels at the back. I mean, they might have wheels at the front end. It's a support. So that the truck, the prime mover, hasn't got all of the weight of it. So I'm pretty sure there's wheels at the front and they're articulated, so they're on the bogie. Wheels at the back. Yeah, not the kind of bogies that's for Maverick and Rooster. But a bogie is like it's wheels that can turn. So like train carriages have bogies. That's where the wheels are, and so they can turn independently, not of each other, but independently of the body of the vehicle. Okay, so
I'm imagining like
well, that would be a caster. Yeah, but if you've got two wheels on a caster that are locked together with an axle, that's kind of like a mini bike because those two wheels will always be the same distance from each other, even though they're doing different things from the other casters or the other little mini bikes. Well, Julia Flights was on this morning. I don't know if they finished yet. And I expect OPN to be out there this afternoon. So we're trying to slot in between them. That's what we're doing. I'm slotting in between. Jimmy. Between late mornings and streams. Yeah. Well, I mean, can you see the Ford Everest next to us? See those black bits of trim on the trailing edges of the doors? See how it makes it look like the door gaps are huge? It looks like they're open, but that's actually bits of trim. So this person's, it's like rubber trims there. And so what basically is, so when they open their doors, they don't chip their paint or something. So basically, so thank you. Yes, exactly. A lot of other people might do it with chrome strip. And I think, and it looked well. I think, I hate chrome. So, what that person is admitting is that they open their car doors up into other things, and maybe I should be thankful if I'm parked next to them at the supermarket at the shopping centre and they open their car door and hit my car door that there is a rubber strip there. But I just think it's proof that they're careless. That's what I see. Anyway, bogies. Just like you say, bogies.
Yeah.
Not boogers.
Not boogers.
But so the bogey at the front of the truck, of the trailer, of the actual mast, and one at the back. And what it's done is it's the prime mover and the towing attachment has drawn away from the mast. So it's now no longer sitting on its bogies. It's still on the rear bogey, but not on the front bogey. All right, and so we've crossed the Gateway Bridge. We're on the south side, and traffic is good, right? Traffic is good. There's no like this. There's no morons sitting in the right-hand lane, not overtaking. Can't hear you at all. I know you. No, that's all right. Evelyn Road exit is the next exit. Don't mind taking it. We will see what we can do with you and your voice.
Yeah.
Because I hate it when I look back at a stream and all I can hear is me. Believe it or not, I don't really think like you said.
This ice. Listening to your own voice.
Yeah, but you know what? By this time, there's people on the chat. So it's kind of it's a two-way conversation, even though it's English speaking. That's yeah, and other people it's going to be speaking.
Yeah. What if it's our kids?
Tez is at work. Red, you know what? Red, I doubt that Red is watching. I'm sure he worked last night, but I noticed before I got a notification from him, so I know he's playing.
He's woke up to me. He's following.
Yeah, he woke up to me and then sends me a TikTok link, whatever the hell it is. I haven't even seen what it is yet. Maybe I'll quickly check as we take the Old Cleveland Road exit. Now there's a service station just over here. See how I know where we're going? This is why I thought this would be a good idea. There's a service station. We can get some drinks because we're thirsty.
Getting tasty.
You say tasty.
Tasty.
Parched. Like parched. Nobody can hear you, Nina.
Yeah, so I can say whatever.
Nina, well, I can just repeat everything you say. Nina's pasty. Now, why everyone's slowing down in this lane? We are doing like 78 k's. No crazy stupid reason because people can't drive.
Yeah.
I can't see past this Prado.
6 cars.
And so maybe they're preparing to take on the exit, but it's such a long exit, you don't need to start slowing down until you've actually taken the exit. People, we're doing in the 70s on 100 zone. It's unsafe, and it only takes one. Look, I'm not blaming everyone. It only takes one moron up there to make that happen. No, I don't. This lane. Look at the wrong lane.
You just did a name.
Oh well, I don't like. Yeah.
I could stay there.
And here's the server I was talking about. So, no, can we get there? Here, no, here's the. I did. Wasted.
Oh, have you got it broken?
No. What happens is when you're on the BP app, if you then need to find a store, it will let you bring it up on either Google Maps or Waze.
Okay.
So thank you. Thank you, BP app, for that as I pull into a Shell service station. All right, so I'm going to try and see if I can do anything with Nina's voice. I know mine works. But you're going to need to keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to need to keep talking.
I'll get the drinks.
Not that anyone can hear.
I'll get the drinks. Don't you worry.
Tell you what, the chat is very empty. Very empty on there today. I should probably. Would it be unusual if I'm on the headphone as well as on the chat? I just didn't bring my charging thing to be able to leave it running. I have to message out.
Can you hear yourself all right?
I can hear myself really well.
I can hear you fine too.
Yeah. So I might just look out a message. Let me know when me. Please. Oh.
Oh, what?
There we have Chris King, and we also have Ben Headley. Hello, people. Thank you for joining us. I was just checking and seeing that it's so empty on there. And Chris has said, yes, I can hear you. Can hear you. Thank you, Ben and Chris.
So they can hear you.
They can hear me.
Who can't hear you? Your mum?
My mum, my dad, they must be deaf.
Well,
Chris.
I wasn't going to insinuate that, but, well, you know.
Dad does need hearing aids, but who wants to put things in their ears? Fantastic. How is everyone today? Are you enjoying the stream so far? We are, where are we at the moment?
At Old Cleveland Road.
Old Cleveland Road.
Old Cleveland. Don't mix it up with New Cleveland Road.
Oh, we're not new, we're old.
This is looking good here. You're talking well.
Oh, thanks.
All right, are you good for a couple of minutes? And I'm going to get you a drink. Is there anything you like in particular?
I'll just go with water because that's really easy.
Second?
Water, please.
Just water?
Just
Not
water.
sparkling?
Not a sparkling
Yeah.
water, just a
I got you.
standard.
I might. I can.
Chat away. There we go. Thank you again, Chris, for coming online and letting me know that you've been on here, and Ben. Yeah. So we're heading down to Byron Bay today, and Sarge couldn't have picked a better day. The weather's absolutely amazing. The roads are lovely and somewhat clear. You too, Chris. Yeah. I think Sarge was saying we're going to a lighthouse. Is that right, Sarge? I'm sure you can hear you have it going on when you're in the service station. So I printed out these fun facts all about unnecessarily tooting your horn is illegal Australia-wide. Was anyone aware of that? The fine is up to $66. Road rage affects the most subdued drivers, but you should avoid temptation of hitting the horn. It's not necessarily to do so. Now my horn actually doesn't work in my use, so I'm not able to beep the horn at anyone when I become aggressive. I tend to just either back off or go around them. Be interesting to see what you do, Chris, when you're a bit cranky with other drivers on the road. And Ben, if you have a funny story to let us know about what you do when you're a little bit frustrated on the road, you toot your horn. Oh, this one's a funny one. You can't throw banana peels or apple cores out your window. Who has done that? I've done that. Assuming it will. And he's back. Assume it was fine. Obviously not out of the vehicles. If I'm close to maybe a garden somewhere, I will throw my. Thank you.
So if you pull that door thing out, it should fit in that little slot.
I'm sure if I pull that out, I could fit in there.
Yep. Nina made a little tiny joke. Let's get my headset back on. I'll tell you what though, how good is it being able to live stream with the windows down and it not buffer the microphones? I'm going to adjust this to see if this makes any difference, because apparently if you aim it like that, might do the same. Like that, then it's
With
the lip movement. Roger. All right. Let's do what Willie Nelson said, and he said something like, "I'm on the road again." There you go.
Thank you. Now I'm going to move the mic.
Oh yeah, move the mic to Oh, I was waiting for slurp noises.
I tried not to. Sorry.
That's all right.
Start
How's this?
things.
Stay there. All right, we are hitting the road again, peoples.
Thank you, eyeballs.
Eyeballs. I'll put my phone back in its quad lock. Quad lock are going to have to sponsor me, because this is non-sponsored. They don't pay me anything. I just really like their stuff.
Have
Oh,
they you been going? Like, I know that you can get quad lock stuff for motorbikes, obviously, and that's when I discovered them.
You motorcyclist, you.
Yes.
I was just looking at what Cody. Sorry, said his name. Whoops. Red has sent me. What is this? This looks like a turbocharged Fiat golf buggy or something.
Is that what they're using at Lakeside?
Look at this. It's a long wheelbase golf buggy that's got like a freaking. I don't know. Is it a Harley Davidson engine? I think it's got Harley Davidson. It's a four. Yeah, that's a 4-wheeler. Long anyway. So he sent me that not long ago, and he's doing that instead of being on the live stream.
Hello, baby.
Which
Where
baby?
you going? My child. Hello, mum.
Which child?
My eldest child, Ty.
So that is Ty.
Yeah.
Hello, Ty.
Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
You thought Ty was on the channel a couple of weeks ago too, and it was my friends. Hey, Ty's name is Ty's name.
But his other name, obviously, for his other social things, and I thought that what, Berman? Is it Berman that you call them?
No. So there was Ver for Veronica and ADM for Adam. It's Veridum. There's a puppy. Hello, puppy dog. In the back of the Hilux.
There's two.
Oh, there is another one laying down. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, let's stop because there are cars approaching. Now, I'm pretty keen to get a 360 camera working on the screen because people can only see back and forth. Hi, Ty. There you go. Glad you could join us. Hope it's not too boring. I mean, I guess it makes it different when a foot.
Emoji, yeah.
So what you're looking, it's a foot. Have a look. I can see a foot there.
I'm still spinning.
I can see a foot. It's a foot. Why do I get a foot, Ty? Explain why. Explain why. Is this like a high five with your foot? That would be a low five, wouldn't it? But you don't get much lower than your feet. We thought the cruise, so the Holden cruise was posturing itself for a possible lane change, and then thought very wisely against it. I don't know if they're wanting to try and turn right here, or if they're in the go straight turn.
Oh, did you put the camera?
I don't think so. So hit me with it. Another news flash from Nina's fun facts news report.
It's about road death toll is 100 Queensland free fatalities.
Can we say fatalities instead of fatalities? Well, I mean,
In 2 days. States told here. They did in the scene crash in the south and one
traveling on Science Street. The Burnett Highway, yes. The man that drove on 80, his wife was in the 60s. Oh, I mean, well, no disrespect, he's the digital parts. Yeah, that's yeah. Not even, well, we're in May, but we're not even halfway. So the projected
like if you add Christmas and everything into it, we're projecting that go around the between 230 yeah, I think like that. And well, I mean, I've seen it, and I remember amounts like that up in those areas in previous years. So
Fine. Right?
that's food fetish.
Other child, Carly.
That's what things are.
Three cakes, three something and a week.
I like feet. Yeah, I'm very supportive of feet because the feet are very supportive of me. That down there in the distance is a McLaren. McLaren. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't really know the different models. I know a couple. I know what a P1 is. I know what a Center is. That could be like a 720S or a 650S, something. I don't know. You might have a badge on it. If we just so nice. No, but I will say that it's a nice colour. It's a bronze. I'm going to call it bronze. I like that. But you know what we could do? And look, the number plate says Sir 650, so I'm going to say that's an S650, just because that's what the number plate is for a family. I think that's a cool number plate. Yeah, you need to give him a thumbs up because he's got a cool car. Nationwide. Don't know if it's his eyes are like he's doing like 90 and 100 tonight. He's doing 90 and 100 zone in a McLaren. I reckon maybe not his car. Now I did meet someone a couple of weeks ago that works at a luxury car on the Gold Coast. Now I don't know if that's I don't know his car. I mean, we know the number plate, don't we? Nina can do a rego check. You could. And it might come up with like the year. So it's a 2015. That is a 10-year-old car and it looks immaculate. That is a 2015 McLaren 650S. Well, that's a 650S, not an S650. See, I need to learn my McLarens better. And it's good on you idiots. Perfect example of crossing a unbroken line because they weren't paying attention and don't you even dare come back. That was poor behaviour team, and I have no doubt we'll have the bridge on. Yeah. So yeah, 2015 McLaren 650S Roadster, assuming you get pop the top off. Because it didn't look like it. Beautiful car, nice colour. Can appreciate. Now we are sitting. I'm doing 96 and just left freaking good. I'm doing 100. Dead on 100. And just blowing cars away in the middle lanes. Now we're gonna like I said before, right? I'm upset that the Lexus twin turbo LX 600 even indicate that. I like to think that fellow Lexus owners. What's the plural of Lexus? You're gonna. I don't know that there's actually an official plural of Lexus. Lexus is that LEX US ES. Lexus is. I like Lex. I'm gonna put Lex I. Yeah, well, there's other words where. That's a good point. Yeah, so I'm going to make room for that first. Again, know where you are going, people. It literally come up here. Look at our next turn. Our next turn off the highway is 138 kilometers away. What? Why are you going over there, Lexus? It's a dead end. Okay. Yeah, and look, what did you do? You just went and cut off a car. You got a busted mirror. You know what I like to do? If they look, I don't flip the bird. I may have this morning to that idiot that tried to hit me. I remember I gave him the finger. He gave me the finger back, and then he had. So, what I find is a non-offensive but disapproving sign that I have not seen anybody else on the road do. So I'm claiming this one. If somebody looks at me after they've just done a dick move, I give them the thumbs down. I will give them the thumbs down. I'll shake my head and go. And now, is that offensive?
My feeling
Okay, so you just did a dick move. I call you out on your poor behaviour, and now you're offended by me. You should look at yourself. I look at it too.
I got big fears of mine.
So, you know what? If you do a dick move and it's not intentional, what is your initial reaction? You put your hand up.
I am sorry.
There you go. And you know what? That's hard to be angry at. All right, in front of us, we have the infamous "See You in the NT" sticker on the back window of the Kia Sorento. Moody. I think there was I know there was a big push to stop it. I think they might have won through court or something like that. The people who rode that lane. I just think it's I think it's right on the borderline of what's acceptable and what shouldn't be acceptable. If you
Soon enough, the kids are going to be like, "Oh my god, that's."
Well, what? Okay, why is that word any worse than the F word? Good answer, Lena. Good answer. Right. So it's a swear word. Now, it's not an offensive word unless somebody is offended by it. So that's subjective. That's subjective. I am not offended by the F word, or the C word, or the N word. I'm not offended by it. I'm just allowed to say the N word. It's not allowed to say the word that it is. OBS Studio. Yeah, okay. It was Nina picked up OBS is the streaming software we used to interface with YouTube and like a lot of streamers do. And it said that it was an already language, so I don't know what that means. All I'm going to say is, I said this through the week. If people are overtaking you on the left, which just happened to me, but I can't go really faster than they're coming in front of me. So I'm going to pull back in behind this Everest, 74 Everest, it's on the road. Because that Mazda Ute BT50 is not overtaking. In an overtaking lane, not overtaking. perfect example
in the left lane.
of get out of the lane. If you're in an overtaking lane and you're not overtaking, get out. If you aren't comfortable going a couple of kilometers there faster, pull back and pull in. But like take the Lexus behind us, they're doing the same thing. So they are driving in the they're driving in the right lane without overtaking. They're not overtaking you. They're just sitting in the right lane. Just so actually, have you finished the your fun facts? Have you got more?
Have you seen?
Yeah, okay. It's all.
Life's just going to be a big day today. So,
You're right. I will say this quickly, Ross. We're talking about it. Yeah, it literally says that I'm reading some rules. Rules. The differences, the nuances between Queensland and New South Wales. So, keep left and less overtaking in Queensland. I'll read the actual one. Or maybe needing to read out the actual. Well, it depends. People don't need it. No. She's a small girl. You 5'2"?
Yeah.
5'2"?
it's not a big deal.
No, no. Because of my son.
I'd like to try it again. Yeah.
Yes. No laughing. Seats here. No innuendos. No innuendos. No double options. Straight up, straight to the point. No looking around. The professional.
Okay.
Trying to be. I am because they're not overtaking. Now, is it because they're from New South Wales as I look at the number plate?
Are they allowed?
Maybe someone last night on yesterday's stream said if to try and say how it is. Now, let's see if you actually speeds up to 110. Now, sitting on 100, exactly 100. So that's fine.
It's like it feels okay to be.
Well, it's 110 now, so it's speed up to 110.
That's okay. It's
So, here in well, so I can see the shadow of the car in front. Now go to anybody we can see it's a C63 two door Mercedes, and then the you say Corolla, I say I 38. Well, not yet, just I do have this. Let's make it easy. Look, we're literally sitting on this exactly 110, and this guy's now actually makes no tests. And I'm not upset by that because they actually do what they need to be doing. But it does frustrate me. And you're just sitting in the right hand lane. Is there a stock house in mind? Yeah. Ways for saying that it's still there. It doesn't discern between one cycle said hopefully they're okay. I don't like being behind this. Not and look, that Mercedes is not overtaking anybody. It's just sitting in the right hand lane. This is a Mercedes wrong thing. I think they're amazing. And again, I'm now being overtaken on the left, which I hate because it's not me, it's the vehicle that is sitting below the speed.
You mentioned about FG.
FG. That's a cool question. I looked this up years ago. Is it a person's name? Or is it two people's names combined to make that up? Okay. All I know is that it's no longer, it was a British company and they're no longer is. So you can't was who is Cecil Gibbon. British, isn't it? So which is that Morris?
Yes.
Sorry, Morris Bingy. Right, it's nature, it's not. The MGF. But lately, MG was bought by Chinese ones because they like these Mazda RX-8s from all the way from Victoria. I do want a great car. Oh, like, I want to own it, whether it's a track car or a road car. I'd like, I don't know about like rebuilding the road bridge if that's what we need, but like the rest of the cars is like, you know. Yeah, but I don't know if I can personally, like, the most well-known road is 7. If C is actually my favorite before I go to D, if this is the back there. I actually like the previous model, it's got an offset bottom skew, like it shapes more like. So you is anyone better? I might think better with Fox Road, it's not something so. What can I grab? So my friend, that's so Jack, yellow pin. So you mean like green? Like oh yeah, so that's my friend Jack's Valiant.
Yeah.
So that's like a 245-inch 6-cylinder, which is turbocharged. I don't think any of those. Well, with Subarus, this, like you can't, like it depends what make and model of car or what have you. You know, like Hilux is the 3-liter turbo diesel Hilux has a bottom scoop, but then they got rid of the bottom scoop for later models. The two Subaru Forester, the SFs, SGs, SHs, they all had bottom scoops on their turbos. But then the latest model Forester turbos, the XTs, don't have bottom scoops, even though there's no turbo finish. So most of the time, if there's a bottom scoop for a turbo car, it's because they've got a top end. So you've got a lot of performance cars with a front mounting that the air comes in through the intercooler before it goes through the radiator. Well, that's again, that's not intercooler. That's to get cold air intake into their engine. Not, yeah. I mean, it's all. I mean, everything serves the purpose. Serves the purpose. I'd say more JDM people, the motives, take the headlights out or have aftermarket headlights that have cold air intake through the. Not like Commodore drives, do we? maybe a few XM6 turbo. So different horses for different horses. Cold air intake is air going into the engine to before it goes through the turbo, then it'll go through the turbo, and then it'll go through the intercooler, which gets intercooled down air because it's heated up in the turbo. And I think everyone in front of me is getting a bit upset. Yeah, well, I think it's the finally the BT50s out. And Shanksy here at the Isuzu, there's a couple. It's a window, so it's in it. I like to refer to it as the posters for me. Posters for me. We're sitting pretty much straight like bang. And look at that little thing. Little. So that's the, I call it the ugly ears. It's the free facelift. With the bullet, it's got round lights. It's got the round lights. That's the Volkswagen ears. I can tell you, if I could do it, I rating. Some people like to hit their heads at once. And the car probably seems like a lot, so there you go. A very European thing to do. Hit the hazard lights when you're unexpectedly slowing down, especially from a high speed.
Yeah, no, Friday night we were driving to the post office, and the traffic was all bunched up, and the front behind me, the police had said something like, "Oh, maybe he's had something."
The UHF, the radio.
Yeah, because he chucked his hazard lights on, but that explains why he did that.
Yep. So I've noticed quite a lot. There's a lot more people doing it in Australia, but then we do have a lot more immigrants in Australia than we've had in the past as well. So maybe there's a combination of people that have grown up with it in another country that are doing it here because that's what they used to do. And also maybe, but now that we've got the internet has created such a close knit world that you'll see something online like what we're doing here, and you'll see it and go, "Hey, that's a really good idea. Maybe I will do that in the future because I don't want anyone to run a bum." So
I've definitely changed some ways that I drive. You know, in the steering wheel, and I find myself smacking my own ear.
right, well, I hear you. I don't think taking your other hand off the steering wheel was smacking. Safe move.
But when I take corners really slow, is when you're doing really.
Right, so we've come to a standstill on the M1 southbound, and it's past midday. I can't see on Waze any report of an accident, just standstill traffic. This is probably a phantom traffic jam. I thought we were going to say that at the same time. Yeah, keep going.
You had it.
I was doing it with you. It was like stereo. We said phantom stereo. Oh, did you? How about those twins? How about that, Kate?
Like that.
Okay. That's made me remember. So a few weeks ago, there was an incident on the Sunshine Coast on the Bruce Highway where some idiots, I'm going to say an idiot because he's an idiot, I don't know, crashed the car, had a gun, was shooting people, like trying to shoot people. He carjacked another car, and then and he's crashed the car. And this woman's come up to see if the driver of the car's okay, and he's pulled the gun out and said, "I'm going to shoot you." So she's run off. Anyway, the news reporters have found the woman's twin daughters, middle-aged twin daughters.
Yeah, they share.
They
So
were like conjoined twins at the brain. They were. It's incredible. If you type in Sunshine Coast twins interview, or something like that into YouTube, watch it. It is nuts. You can't unsee it. It is. It's like you remember the how'd your kids, how'd your wife, and then we had old mate a couple of years ago who was running down chasing a car that had crashed into the in his jocks. Running down the street in my jocks. He mate, and he's like, but this guy's crashed into my next door neighbour's shop and then just started driving away. I ran down the street in the jocks and I chased him. So good. Watch that one too. They're brilliant. But I was hoping that we would be getting away from congested, bumper to bumper, low speed congestion on the M1. Someone next to us. I coughed up this morning, trying to keep up with Marty on the push bike. So, yes, Mal, GR Yaris Mal. Right, so because we're going under 30 kilometres an hour, let's talk about this road rule. Motorcycle lane filtering and shouldering. So, as a car driver, I'm also a motorcyclist, same as Nina. We know and understand that it makes us better car drivers. All right. So, motorcyclists are allowed to lane filter and shoulder up to 30 kilometres an hour, which means if traffic is bumper to bumper going less than 30, then motorcyclists are allowed to lane filter basically the white dash line in between traffic. As long as it's safe to do so, and a couple of other rules, you can't do it during roadworks and all that sort of stuff. But here, a motorcyclist can do it. Once I start travelling in congested traffic like this, under 30 k's an hour, I will move to the side. Finish my sentence perfectly. Once I'm over 30 k's an hour, I get back into the middle of, because motorcyclists aren't now supposed to be able to lane filter between cars. Now, Nina, I don't know about you, but most motorcyclists that I do are lane filtering at 50, 60, 70 kilometres an hour. Most, and that's most. That's not, like, it is every now and then. What?
I would say that I would be doing it.
Wait. Lane filtering is up to 30 kilometres an hour. Why do you think confidence has anything to do with motorcyclists breaking the law by speeding through in between? Right. But they're breaking the law. They're not doing it right. They're actually being a menace to society. They're being unsafe, unpredictable, and disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, that's my three pillars for safe for driving, and they break it all forever. So are you saying when you become more confident, then you're going to lane filter at 50, 60, 70 kilometres? Is that what you're saying? What is that? Right. Not just selfish, ignorant of the road rules. What does VLP stand for? So, like, the actual reason that it stands for. I'm going to say very ignorant. And the reason why I say ignorant is because when it comes to motorcycle lane filtering, it became legal in Queensland about 10 years ago. And this is what I think has happened. People knew that lane splitting was illegal and you shouldn't do it, but people would do it. Not that many motorcyclists, but some would do it, right? Then it came out, Queensland TMR changed the road rules to say that motorcyclists can now lane filter. So lane splitting had become legal. And it's almost like people have just gone, like heard through word of mouth, whatever, it's gone, oh, lane filtering is now called lane splitting and it's now legal. Yeehaw. And they just continue to do what they were always doing. Not reading the road rules, which is motorcycle lane filtering can only be done and shouldering can only be done up to 30 kilometers an hour. So people doing 50, 60, 70 kilometers an hour are doing it wrong. I don't care how confident they are. I'm a confident motorcycle rider and I don't do it. So I don't think it's about confidence. I think it's about ignorance. Well,
I'm going with them.
that just makes it sound like they're allowed to do it as long as they're confident. Well, that's why I pick it up. No, it's not what you put down. No, it's not what you put down. But I mean, this is okay. So, and this is why we have these discussions because it's a bit truck. Looks like a truck. That looks truckish. I'm sure. Go for it. You can put them in Urban Dictionary if you want. You just got to credit it to the originator. Is that a new word too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Subway. There's the 370Z. That is the 3. Yes, I'm trying to say something. 7 VNT. Somebody that level. There's a lot of. It says there's like. Way says there's like 5 speed cameras all set up on the opposite side of the line. 1, 2, and a cop. Now, what that is. Look at this. 1, there's a cop, speed camera, 2 speed.
Is that fancy? It's really for live line.
No, they're on the other side of the highway. There's probably one there. It's probably no. I'm saying there's going to be 1 speed camera there, but as people come through, they enter like another one. Instead of just saying yes, it's there, they put another one in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says there's like 5 speed cameras on the other side of the road. There's not one over there. There's nothing. No. So what happens is we're on the wrong side of the highway to be able to do anything about it. What should happen is it comes up and says, speed camera 500 meters ahead, whatever. And then is it still there or is it not? And then if you go past and there's nothing there, you go, it's not there. And once a few people said it's not there, it will take ways to take it off of the video. So it's power of the people, but it's power of it's democracy because it's just one person says it's a content. I think it averages the average period because it takes a bit of time to leave. So, that's moving well. Right then, moving well. So we're back up to speed with one person watching. There's one person watching. That's me. Is me. Yeah. Oh, welcome to YouTube Premium. As we have to slow down. And this phantom traffic jam out there will be because people are exiting to the left onto the Gold Coast Highway. People like the Nissan 370Z, the black one just moving across, they are in the right-hand lane, and then to move across to the left-hand lane, which they're doing now, they have to hit the brake, slow down, hit the brake, slow down, hit the brake, slow down to make a lane change. And everyone behind them. Yeah. And it was your fault. Yes, I was pointing at the 7 sector. So if he ever wants to himself back to this stream, you'll know that it was his fault. Because we're now back at the speed again. And I don't make it. Anyway, it's not upset. I don't think it's good. It's really for the MG. That's a funky killer. That is see, Now there's 5 people. So I'm assuming a few of the people that are watching right now subscribe. So I would like to subscribe, but that's up to you. And if you do, wait a few minutes, you can actually join the chat. Christina is flavor. All of the bucket around, slow down, speed up. We've finally come up behind the Mercedes C63 S. The super cool race drive. We're still at 110 zone doing 9 something. 100 and 110 zone. He looks like a golfer. I'm pretty sure golfer will set it off. Golf's fit back in it. Hey, hold on. Let's slow down again. It's not feel, it's thought. Yeah, I don't feel those things. I think these things. And you feel? I think. It's not to say I don't feel, not to say you don't think of the same things. My thought is, I saw the hat. It's a lot of people play golf drive Mercedes. I think Mercedes might sponsor some golf tournaments, stuff like that. You know? Now, again, it's going to be another phantom traffic jam. So let's list a few of the things that make phantom traffic jams happen. I've listed it once before on the channel, being people touching their brakes as they go past the speed camera. I've mentioned that one. Nina, what else do you think might? Well, I kind of mentioned.
Yeah, as we saw coming from the right-hand lane all the way to the left, slowing down, braking to go into the next lane, that can cause it as well.
Absolutely, and that's usually moderate. Look, phantom traffic jams are going to happen with moderate to. Now I'm doing 30 k's an hour. That motorcyclist is obviously doing way more. Way more. They're doing 40, 50 k's an hour. So that's not how you lane filter. I'm doing 40, but the traffic's doing 40. But that motorcyclist isn't doing it at the speeds that I see some do. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying he's not as dangerous as others. Now, I'm in the middle lane doing 20 k's an hour, so I'll be right in the middle because they might be lane filtering either side. And I'm cognizant of that because if I go to make a lane change, and this is why, and we have another motorcyclist coming up my right-hand side to lane filter. Slow down. No, it wasn't a hit. That wasn't a positive one, no, because I said slow down. So we're doing 50 and that motorcyclist getting past doing 60, 70. Like I said, that's not how you lane. And look, there'll be people out there that ride bikes that go, oh, mind your own business, do it. This is my business. This is my business, Dan. This is my business. Calling out your poor behaviour is my business. So come up with another catch cry. That was a Freudian slip. Have a cry. Oi. Action. So I was talking about that the other night. Skip me. If you cause another vehicle to take evasive action, she can't even see her sport. She's literally craning her neck to look over the steering in that. And she's like my grandmother when, like, I remember my grandmother decades ago, she'd be doing 90, 88, 90 k's an hour on the highway, being just, I mean, look, if you're going to do it and she's in the left lane, that's, I mean, acceptable, barely, but acceptable. But then she'd be watching cars go past, doing 100, going, oh, look at them speeding. Oh, that caravan shouldn't be going that fast. And I'm like, they're doing the posted speed. You're the one that is going too slow. I just got sick of it. I just I couldn't handle it. 70. I can accept the fact that a 70-year-old and an 80-year-old, assuming old mate that's must have paid versus caravan. When you know the circumstances. But 80-year-old took a caravan.
When you get a caravan, is that it? You just chuck it on you. You wait for it.
Do you need a license to tow a caravan? Is it an extra? Well, that's a good question. No. No. You, if you have an automatic license, like I'm assuming, like an open license, not a lot of P-planes are caravanning. So open automatic license and you're driving an automatic vehicle. You can tow a caravan. You don't need an extra license for it as long as the caravan's within limits and the vehicle has the capacity to tow that amount. You know, there's obviously limits, but not license requirements. So I'm gonna just assume that there's probably courses there that would teach people how to drive towing caravans or like boat trailers. Well, I'm assuming somebody's out there teaching. Otherwise, people are just learning by getting on the road and putting everybody else in danger. That's my exit with my so I've driven them quite physically. They just waving. Sitting smack bang on 100 an hour. That's an overtake. So this is what frustrates me. Trucks that sit in the middle lane doing well, I mean, not so much here, but if you're in 110 zone and trucks running to the end of 100, they sit in the middle lane, that actually causes congestion. It can. Okay, it's fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics is if you're slowing a fluid down in the center, everything around it is going to be slow as well. It's going to be forced to slow down, even though they're overtaken. So we've got the slowest vehicles on the left, slightly faster in the middle, and then even faster on the right. So, like for instance, 100 in the left, 110. This is the way I think it should be. 110 in the middle, 120 on the right. Then you've got natural overtaking. Fluid dynamics. The fastest is on the outside, and over on the left is the slowest. And as we go to speed, everyone's checking my speed. Not hitting the brake pedal at all. Speed camera off to the left. Hit it at 100. No problem. And I'm still overtaking it. Sitting on the posted speed. So, well, here's the thing. How many people do you think are using Google Maps at the moment or Waze where it's telling them this speaker? You reckon most cars right now are using the tickets? I know that, but I don't think most people are using the tickets. I don't think most people, and even if they are, I don't think most people are using the ones that say this. I think the small minority, but the minority of people are not. That's what I'd like to get some stats on it. Well, again, which is proving that the middle lane is the slowest lane. So, stand a better drop because, like Brisbane, it's only got 7 years before the Olympics. It's going to be nuts. when you've got a whole bunch of league all coming over here and all sorts of stuff going on. You can have people from different states and moving up wanting to be chauffeurs, driving athletes around and all that. That's what I want to do in 7 years' time. I want to be driving the athletes. Yeah, I want to get a job driving the athletes. You know how cool it'd be? Doing it live stream. If they think it's cool. Some athletes just won the gold medal. They jump in the live stream car. Little mini interview. How do you feel now? Oh, I'm exhausted. Again, the cameras aren't on the inside. They're facing outwards, so it's not like you might have a special camera on them. You know what? In 7 years' time, I reckon the sound will be cranking. What is that doing? Oh, they got their hazard lights on. They're doing very slow speed. I think they're about to break down in the corral. I don't know what they're doing.
Is that like
Maybe. Well, I'm doing 100, probably past them, probably doing 70. But they're having issues. They've got their hazard lights on. I mean, that's, at least. I wouldn't say, oh, hey, let's drive line broken down and roll it down to Byron Bay for the day. Next week, it won't go over 70 kilometers an hour. That's all right. I'll just put the hazard lights on. It'll be interesting. I'll just put, as I make some room for the Hyundai. That looks so. Yeah, it looks so good. Oh, when you said back door, I was looking at the back hatch. No. Then I thought to myself, I don't like calling it a door because it's a hatch. So if you've got a back door, that's not a hatch, but it's a door. So a lot of like 4 triples that have the spare tire bouncing to the back, that won't be on a hatch. That'll be on a door, back door. So like a chimney has a back door. I've seen a bunch of. You've just not taken notice. His old mate in the freaking BT50 again. Oh, how have we only just put up with him again? He is, but he's in the left hand lane. How old is he? He's 30. He's the practice girl. His girlfriend. I think it's. Who knows? Stimmerage King. Are you asking, even though there's big signs here that tell you Burley Heads, Varsity Lakes. So Varsity Lakes is closer to the highway. Burley Heads is over on the border. Here at the Golders. As I look behind us, and I don't know, is it an Audi coming up? What is?
it's like
Well, they could make sense. Then I'll make it so
oh no,
is he making a last second? Is that guy making a last second exit? Is he exiting? Yeah, look, it's off.
Oh, no indicator change.
What a douche. I look at Counties, I've got a couple hours. And he comes flying up on the right hand lane, and then with about 300 metres to go, makes a lane change. Now, the traffic's quite light now. But what if the traffic was medium to heavy? And I instantly say he. Instantly I say he. But majority. So that was a 1 second. Move off. Know where you're going. Be the correct. It's so easy. Just makes everyone's life. Because he did exactly just there. What we're talking about starts compared to traffic jams. He has backed off to make a lane change to get in behind the car in the middle lane. Backed off again to make another lane change into the left lane. There was 4 lanes back there because the very left lane was the off ramp lane, and the lane he chose was where you have a choice to stay going straight and take the off ramp. And like you said, he didn't even indicate to take the exit. So just again, just poor driving team, poor driving. Now we've got a golf behind us again, that's sitting in the wrong hand lane, not overtaking anyone. We're sitting, I probably do it. Not doing it. We're passing him on. It's okay. I'm just saying the golf ball, it's just been sitting in the round. If you are not overtaking anyone, do not be in the right. It doesn't matter because before we can watch it, we can like he's going to go past now. We see when definitely be. Now, I don't really have a problem with the speed. Now I'm sitting on, just a couple of k's over 100, flying the traffic. He's probably sitting on the most 7 or 8. I don't have a problem with that, but I have a problem if there was no other cars on the road just back there, and he was just sitting on one end of the road. Yeah, personally, he looked like an immigrant. Well, exhibit, Pakistani, Sri Lanka, something. Oh, look at the stuff, and Waze is saying it's like it's using some engine braking on the downshifts. It's a bit of and let's hit some hazard lights for the Range Rover coming up behind us, and they've slowed down enough, so
That's a whole step for
hitting the hazard lights for the car behind you.
me driving. I feel like the hazard lights are such an extreme thing to use. But I agree that
As we come up, I glanced at Waze and it said that there was very slow moving traffic, standstill. So no chat on the live stream since ages ago. Lucky I've got you for company. Lucky I convinced you Byron would be a nice place to go today.
I think it was food.
Oh, did I?
No, you didn't. I'm like, I'm gonna get food. No,
Did I?
didn't.
I didn't. Well, I didn't, but
I'll be getting
not.
something to eat now.
How's it?
Somewhere
Well,
different.
Do you know Byron very well? And I know you can put away every meal that you've eaten in front of me. Respect. Nina and I have had a few meals together. I've never gotten any leftovers ever with her plate at all, and she's 5'2". Oh, Yaris Gia. Hello.
There was a steak with cheese and mayo.
Oh, did you? Oh, did you? Did you give me some?
Yeah, because I think I wanted the slammers. The
Tim Tam slams. Yeah, all those Tim Tams are gone now, and
Did you or did you share them?
I'm pretty sure I shared some.
Good.
But can I tell you, I was quite ill for a few days. Oh,
Stopped.
well, okay. So for those of you who don't know, I'm carnivore, and so I don't eat Tim Tams. I like it. I used to eat them, but my body's not designed. Well, I won't say designed. My body is no longer in a good position to digest plant material. Big Tams. I mean, yeah, plant food is what you have to eat if you catch a critter. It's pretty easy to catch a cow. So
They're my favorite.
I would say that sheep. Well, it's lambs and baby sheep. So yeah, so dressed as lamb. Yeah, I've used that sometimes, especially on the Gold Coast. Lamb is my favourite, and then so like a lamb roast. The lamb shop from the beach. Lamb that I've had over in Afghanistan was amazing. Just the way the Afghanis cook meat over flames. Amazing. And they've got a lot of other dishes as well. That I so, but you know, some of these flavors, the memories of the tastes remain.
That's what I love about it.
So, okay, so if you've got a packet of Tim Tams, you've got a packet normal Tim Tam. Well, actually, no, I'm saying, what is the best flavor? What is the best tasting Tim Tam? I want to know what your answer is. This is a new sentence. This is a new psychoanalyzing question for me. No. It's just, what is the first thing that comes to mind when I say, what is the best tasting Tim Tam?
I would be maybe white
Yep. Okay, so the white chocolate Tim Tam. So we're talking Tim Tams. What is the best tasting Tim Tam?
I don't.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You can. Not that many people like it. That's fine. And this is the question was directed to you. What is the best flavor? Best tasting Tim Tam. Best flavor, best tasting Tim Tam. See, because my answer is it's my answer is the best Tim Tam is the first one. The first Tim Tam I put in my mouth, I don't care what flavor it is. The first Tim Tam I put in my mouth is the best tasting one. Any Tim Tam after that, you're just eating for eating's sake. You're not eating for the pleasure of the taste of it because, well, I mean, there's still some taste of pleasure there, but it's not as much. So if you're getting full satisfaction, 100% of satisfaction out of the first Tim Tam, you ain't getting 100% satisfaction out of the next Tim Tams until you reset, say the next day. So realistically, a packet of normal Tim Tams, there's 11 Tim Tams. It should last you almost 2 weeks. You have one a day. I would say that if you, sorry, a different flavor. So then I would call that the first one of the next flavor. So, well, you know what I mean? Like you're changing, it's almost like, it's like, okay, I'm going to taste this lamb. Nothing's going to taste as good as this lamb will taste. And my mouth has lamb flavor. But then I grab some Wagyu and I taste it, and then I'm like, oh my God, that's good too. But, and I'm not going to say it's better or worse than the lamb. It's probably the same, but it's a different taste. So, therefore, whatever. You know, red wine, whilst eating your red meat. And I'm slowing down, people. Why are you on your brakes, Mr. Camry? We're already doing 90. There's a vehicle stop there. Let's, you know what? I reckon it was the first mate. Sorry, just the paint fell past us. All right. Do you know what this red thing means in the middle of the highway just past us? What is this red thing? It used to be really red, now it's faded red. Welcome to New South Wales. Bam, this is the state. That is a good one. All right, now. In Queensland, keep left and less overtaking is 90 kilometres an hour or over. In New South Wales, keep left and less overtaking, it says over 80 kilometres an hour. What's the difference? It's 90 over for Queensland. It's over 80 for New South Wales. What's the difference? What's different about the speed? Okay, so this is why a lot of people get this wrong, and I got it wrong in the past. Just in the past, cool and go to airport. Oh, skydivers.
I was on a birthday. get it. It's like, no problem.
That's okay. So I'm going to say it again. Queensland, keep left unless overtaking on multi-lane roads happens at 90 and over. In New South Wales and Victoria and Tasmania, it's over 80 kilometres an hour. What is the difference? What is the physical difference? No. It's over 80 now. So 80 kilometres an hour, you do not need to keep left unless overtaking. It's over 80 kilometres an hour. What is the next speed over 80 kilometres an hour? What is the next posted speed that is over 80 kilometres an hour? Yes, they do. So what is the physical difference between Queensland and New South Wales? Is nothing. There is no difference. It's just worded differently. Queensland says keep left unless overtaking 90 and over. 90 and over, which is easily understandable. New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, probably a few other states. I don't think Western Australia. Western Australia says 90 and over the same as Queensland. Every other state and territory says keep left unless overtaken takes effect. Multi-lane roads takes effect over 80 kilometres an hour. Over 80 kilometres an hour means 90. Why don't they just say 90? The way Queensland and Western Australia say it sounds like you cannot, there's no ambiguity about it. It's 90 and over. New South Wales says over 80 kilometres an hour. They've worded it differently, but it means the same thing. So, can you pass on the left? This is what well, we'll talk about Queensland first, then we'll talk about New South Wales. Wait, I'm going to read it out. Keep left and overtaking. Keeping left on single, it says, yes, so on multi-lane roads, 90 kilometres an hour on the ball. Then it says drivers are allowed to overtake on the left on all multi-lane roads in Queensland. Drivers are allowed to overtake on the left on all multi-lane roads in Queensland. All multi-lane roads, meaning 100, 110 zones, 60 zones, 50 zones, whatever. You can overtake on the left. Now, I had heard that you cannot overtake on the left in New South Wales. In New South Wales, they call it undertaking.
Yes, okay.
Undertaking. Then I read this morning, when overtaking, drivers must. Blah, blah, blah. Drivers must not overtake. Drivers not overtaking should keep left and allow reasonable space. Nina's going to read it. There's some stuff in there that says something about overtaking. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't happen very much, but yeah. Yep. Yes, of course. So that, if you and other vehicles are traveling in marked lanes, which we are doing right now, because these 3 lanes are marked, you can overtake on the left. So but again, it's written differently. So unless it back up and is that most people I talk to say you cannot overtake on the left or undertake in New South Wales on a multi-lane road on the highway. That there says that you can overtake on the left. Don't worry about if there's if you're making a right turn or if there's a car stopped in the right lane. Don't worry about that. Where it says if you are travelling in marked lanes, we are currently travelling in marked lanes. we can overtake on the left. Now, I only read that this morning because I've gone off what New South people with New South Wales licenses and Metro New South Wales have said you're not allowed to undertake. You're not allowed to pass on the left. Yeah, but I've never read that before, and I don't know when that legislation became, when the wording was stated that. I don't know, but you can overtake on the left in New South Wales as long as you're in no place. Right, let's go scroll down to Victoria. So say Vic. So again, it's similar to New South Wales. You cannot. I want to know what is a multi-lane road that has no marked lanes. Is that like a 3-lane line slab bitumen with no lane markers? What does that mean? Road with no lane markings, with no lines. What 2 or 3 or 4 lane road has no lines? Why didn't they say that? They're being ambiguous. Because nowhere there does it say that it's a construction. Because it also says that you shouldn't overtake in a construction zone. And I don't know. I would have noticed it, and I would have done a risk assessment in the parade and for. If I was driving my friend Charlie's Ferrari, that thing's over. It's so low, and the diffuser on the back is so low that you following his car, it's flipping up all sorts of cat's eyes. It's literally lifting cat's eyes. If you follow closely, it's F430 Spider. It sucks big stuff off the road and looks back at on. Yeah, it's so like I can tell where he's driven it. It's things. Anyway, no, I don't know. It's just that. So yes, it's talking about that you are allowed to overtake on the left in lanes on a multi-lane road, but then you're not allowed to do it where there are no lane lanes. They also talk about transit lanes and stuff like that because I've been in Victoria use their transit lanes. And if they have a transit lane that's on the right, they've got an unbroken line. And then to the left of that, they're saying that now becomes the right lane. Because when you're in a transit lane, you're not supposed to exit or enter, except for the exit and enter. Even though it's just an unbroken white line of the road, physically you can drive over. It's not like it's a traffic light. And I've seen people do it, and it's disrespectful of other people. People do it. Especially if someone's trying to look at the transit lane. So again, so you take that check because we're probably going to start to struggle with tunnel. We might start to struggle with the perception. So we're about to go through a little tunnel. Yeah, and this is telling me yes.
Let us know if we're still live and you're maybe just listening.
Yeah, I think it's this. No. It's the right question. Okay. Yeah, it's a tough screen. And then we hit a bump, and then you actually hit the screen. No, I'm just saying. I think it's been done before. I mean, yeah. So anyway, maybe I'm really hoping we can get to Byron and get back. So Byron, obviously, we get there, we get back, but without too many pitches. We are implementing the opposite. Actually, that's it. I thought that's the book. I don't know that the people that are more they fully understood, even though I explained to him what he's doing, because nobody really in the world is doing what I'm doing, live streaming whilst driving. And they like, there's been some people doing it obviously, but they're doing it like obviously, but they're doing it like they're just using their phone, whatever. Like I need to beam out to like as much as I can something, and it's better on the proof of beaming out. Yeah, that's what it does. But it's glitching. It's glitching. But this is what today's about, people. Anyone following the stream know and understand. So that this is all research. All this is all worked out and so and I'd like to live stream between Brisbane and Sydney. Non-stop. And live stream that might be an awesome road trip. So the difference between a computer and you will find an excuse to get in your car with your fuel. That is the easiest. Whereas a computer is someone who uses their vehicle because they need to get some different. Now, is when like driving road trips, Byron's a nice destination. I just wanted to see if we can bump down from Brisbane to Byron and not lose too much. On the laptop, it will look good because that's not what's beaming out. That's what we are. That's prior to beaming out.
Yeah.
But if you go to YouTube and you watch it on your phone, that's what's beaming back in. So you'll see. So you see on the laptop is live exactly what's happening there. What's beaming back in on the phone is like about 10 seconds delay. And you can see when it's glitching. You can see when it's freezing. So anyway, this is all R&D. I've always how's that house? It's not even grandiose. It's just it means like in your face, massive mansion. Like it's really it's just a normal sort of it's a bedroom with a hill. Like I can't even imagine. I was losing driving from they pulled out and then pulled back in. So I can't as sure that I can see the picture. Anyway. Measure. We're passing this red I-30 there. Now, I did say it was probably going to rain. So the weather said it was going to rain down here at about 6 a.m. tonight. That may be back in Queensland. By then. Clouds looking on this. Clouds looking on this. That's a fair. We have 30 kilometres to the return. Will we get there before the rain gets there? We're racing. Kilometers, 26. Let's say, okay. So, basis give me a couple of bits of information. It says we've got 29 kilometers to the turnoff. But we've got 36 kilometers, so it's about 7 days from the rain gets in. Now, I just said Byron Bay, not the lighthouse. So there you go. Byron Bay's 33. This says it's 35. 26 minutes to our destination. Another hotel. You know what they are? Why is there Arrogance. That would be a fauna bridge. Fauna bridge. To have the critters get from some of the to the up without being submitted. This could take this BW, Kelly Transport BW. This might take a while. He's hogging the right hand lane. He is not overtaking. He's done the wrong thing. Like, because we're coming up, I don't know if we're coming up with before, but shoot into the head lane. I think it was too many overtaking. Next big number. Didn't realise that was. It's his enthusiasm outweighs skill. No, that is. I think it's almost just neutral. It's just roll down the hill. So, draft. It's like a NASCAR thing. If you draft a vehicle in front of you, if you get the draft off, in theory, if you get up close enough,
I say petrol.
yes, you will. It's not you, but you will save a little bit of fuel because your car needs to fire as well. So the vehicle in front, because now you've like joined up like a tree, like with two engines, and so I've done a lot of research on this lately because of building an engine, and it's what I'm saying is that the front engine is heading out along the back engine. The back engine is being helped along the front engine. Therefore, they're both saving fuel. A little bit. Pretty. Cool. See if you can pick this car and take your attendance before we actually get this. What'd you say? Carol's just got it. It's not an escort. That is whether it's real or not real. This is an SLR 5000, so it's one of the LX or LX. Again, I'm the Ford guy. So LH or LX. Again, we can look up their number. No, it's alright. That's alright. But you can give it a thumbs up because it's regardless, it's cool. It's old school cool. And he's old school for again, not leaving looking. No, that's yes. These are your side's better than this side.
Close. That's so much far away.
Right,
It's
so
just like different levels.
that's it. We definitely have to. But we've worked well for this stuff. You're good from close to middle. Two. Two. Like this. Window down forward. Sometimes but then for the 79 to come through. Like this trailer as well. On the beach, I mean, like, or is it just random around? Yeah. So, YouTube, so the it's just very far apart. Yeah. It's not huge. It's a good idea. No, no, we have to just you can just click on that again and go back there. So, okay, so so when we pull over, so someone who lives down here has requested me bring them a bottle or something. I did, and no, off. Yeah, but he didn't. I don't. And I need to go back to place to anyway. We're speaking. I like to grab a bit of this and that, make some cool alcohol drinks. And made a chocolate Baileys that Nina quite liked. That you're requesting a lot. But she's smiling and saying, "Oh, is that?" Tessa, you said the sounds traveled actually out. And Tessa said, shut graphically open them. And you did, and it was good. That was in the rack. So I can't think that that could be anything to do with the stream. Anything from my end. Maybe YouTube, but not me. So look at this truck has, and no, it's so this truck is speeding. So you think it's yeah, it's on the what? Yeah, I'd like to say it's already out there. It's the it's the extra feature. How lazy can you be? You can't even put your hand across the still.
Instead, instead.
Sounds like standard places do. Do you know where we're heading? Because we're nearly there. Because it says it on the title of the library. I saw you guys around at the beach this morning. Who was in the car just tuned in, sound, static. Yeah, fair enough. We just wound the windows up just in case. Nobody's been out to chat to us to let us know. My moderator's working. My other moderator's sleeping. They're getting sacked. All of them. No, well, I think works and no reason to not be used. That's true. That's true. We are not far from turning left onto Ewingsdale Road. Ewingsdale. People who know Byron Bay never think that's the road to. What?
Woodstock. She smashed man at Woodstock while she's driving.
Whoa. So the chick driving the little yellow Hyundai behind us is drinking a Woodstock.
Yeah.
The audio and the visual will match up, even though it get glitches out here and there, whatever it might be. Plus, the best thing is, even if it was out a little bit, you're not looking at anyone talking, and so it's not like their mouth's moving at a different pace than the glitch.
Yeah.
Because we're just driving. It's not like, so that's one good thing about this. But sometimes watching other things, and if the mouth doesn't sync up with the words, it's terrible. Right, so you want me to overtake? Yes. We are about to, we got 1 kilometre before the turn. So, but DI22CJ, just saying, just I like to collect the information. Good chance they're probably going to turn towards Byron. Like to have the information that now we didn't get it on camera, so it's not a lot we can do. But drinking a Woodstock whilst driving, there's probably plenty of people out there that'll be like, it's one Woodstock.
You don't have to drink anything.
No, of course. Well, you can drink. I'm not turning. See ya. No, you can't drink and drive. But drinking is drinking alcohol. You can drink you can drink tea. You can drink coffee. Like that's why there's cup holders.
I seriously thought you weren't allowed to eat.
What,
Maybe
what,
it's a distraction.
well, then why is there cup holders?
While you're driving, to drink while you're driving. Just messaged me saying that he got the bike out.
Are you using it?
There was a conversation about going for a ride today. Have the pleasure of riding this.
I'm gonna say, yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that form 1 lane sign, which was hidden behind a tree, was at the point of forming 1 lane.
Oh, that's handy.
Good work, New South Wales. Cruise, yeah, just turn that off. Thank you. Check engine light. No, not really. No, was this a cruise control thing? It's a hello, Veronica / Adam. I don't know who's typing, but cruising into Byron. We wanted to know how far we can get down from Brisbane to Byron without see if we lost
You
umbrella. No,
like the
no,
bus stop,
no, drop it off.
rearranging the boat was
You just stop in the middle of nowhere.
makes sense.
Yeah. So I thought Byron would be a great destination whilst the weather was good, and see how far how much closer to Sydney we can get without having to like change to Starlink or something. I don't particularly want to put Starlink on the top of the Lexus.
Isn't it? I know that your friends have spoken about it, yeah, but I don't really.
We could poke it up through the sunroof. I
We could use it as a wing back of the.
You know what? If we had a ute, I'd just mount it in the back of the tray of the ute.
You can borrow my ute to the
What?
next Lexus at my house.
Why? I mean, we could do that, but why wouldn't you be in the ute with me? You said you like road trips. That's a
True,
road trip.
yeah, that is like. That would be amazing.
How often? How well do you know? Well, you know Sydney. No, you know Sydney. You know Sydney. You know Sydney.
Little holiday in Sydney, but I was driving.
Did you fly down?
I flew down there and then we drove around a fair bit because I like scenery. And then we drove.
Can you see what's on the horizon ahead of us? It's the lighthouse on the easternmost point of Australian land. Australian. Yeah, you can. That's our.
Yes, you can.
That's our destination. That's where we're going to go up to. We're going to stop at the lighthouse. What an iconic, and that's where we're going to end the stream. I really need to have better locations to end the stream than a freaking train station.
Train station.
Train station. Yeah. Oh, look, it came from McDonald's, which is like a meat for cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a car meet there, so I mean, that's not too bad. But yeah. So Lakeside Raceway.
Roads here are
Oh,
just as bad as that.
So started our journey at Lakeside Raceway this morning with some pretty cool cars, flat out around the racetrack. And we'll end the stream at the Byron Bay Lighthouse. Yes, I'll say it again, the easternmost point of the main Australian mainland. Not including obviously islands like, territories of Australia like Norfolk Island, Lord Howe. Pretty keen to do road trips to all of the points, north, south, east, and west, but then also the south, right, the south end of Tasmania.
You get like that thing, like draw where you'd be. It's a memory where it started.
That would be cool. I had a thought. How cool would it be if there was, and they might exist now. I thought of this years ago. A Google map where you enter in places where you've been on certain dates.
You can do that.
Right. Okay, but here's the deal. You do it and I do it, and then we go to this search bar and we put in my name and your name, and then we hit go, and then we could do from like our birth, and it would be a dot all around. Yeah, but what it would show you, and you could put in criteria like where was the closest that we've been. So before the day we met, you could say where was the closest we've been. We might find that we were at the same place at the same time, and we could look at a date and time. You could go over your text messages and you go, oh, that night I was having dinner at XYZ restaurant. And you go, I was having dinner at XYZ restaurant.
Anyone if you did that, they'd be like, oh my.
Well, I thought about that maybe 10 years ago for a website using Google Maps and stuff like that. But, my ADHD gets me thinking all these different inventions and stuff like that. And then what happens is I get distracted. Yeah, okay, what you said. I get distracted and then do something else, probably something more realistic, like jumping through IP hoops or inventing something or coming up with something cool and then maybe like selling it to Google or whatever. I think now I know they're called like plugins or whatever, like, or widgets or whatever. You can plug it into and use Google Maps and then plug in and use that. I don't know.
fancy man there at that bus stop. What would that be?
So we are going to go up the main street, up to the Byron Beach Hotel. Turn right. We'll go along that road, look back around, and through up to the lighthouse. It's less staticky now, so these windows can go down.
Does that read? Is it?
Chimney. There you go.
It's well,
I did think
it's been late.
split second. I like the chimney badge that was on the front grill. As we get into the Byron Central Business District. Take the left road up to the hotel. There's a fair bit straight and a fair bit to the right as well.
It's windy.
It's Byron. It's Byron on a Sunday. And as we crest the brow, are they going to come across? Come across. He's giving us a wave. Thank you, mate. And there's the ocean.
Beyond
They think they are. A lot of people that have a bit of money that live in the Gold Coast of Brisbane do come down. I know that a lot of people, a lot of tourists here, a lot of people from overseas that don't know. Just walk out in front of cars, people. It's okay. They'll avoid you.
Is that visible enough?
The L plate looks like a lowercase I plate on the highway doing 110.
You know that they'll be in the left lane because they're not going to be able to keep up the speed. And
No,
we'll give them time to.
No, that's exactly wrong. They are not always in the left lane.
No.
They should be,
Yes, they should be.
but they are not. And I've seen it. I just think it's stupid. Well, we don't do it in Queensland. We train our learner drivers and our P-platers to drive at the speed everyone's driving at, not restrict them, which makes them a mobile. So if you're in a 110 zone, but it's a single lane, you'll have the majority of cars backed up behind the learner. And that's going to cause road rage, create anxiety in the learner driving. They're already maybe not that confident anyway. So I just think it's stupid, and I'm allowed to think it's stupid because my opinion. Oh, I've dropped out. Do I just need to restart?
It says nothing here as well. That nobody's watching.
Right. Well, we got close. So many windows. Let's restart it. So you go back to YouTube and then see if there's a yellow thing across. Oh.
There is
Yeah, that yellow thing.
open widget.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just done. Like it has come back from that, but I'm not really sure. Like it should just disappear.
It's good. It's better than that. And I think last night had 6. So
I think it's still working. Does that work?
when I have a look, it had kind of spam. But I will definitely.
No, I'm live. And there's 2 people on, and I'm one of them. So let's see if we can actually end the stream at the lighthouse properly, rather than just ending it because it dropped out. Every person out there, which is me and one other, could be
I'll watch.
Ronnie and Adam, maybe. Optus has been okay. I just need the better boundaries. Not a small boat. Is that a diving boat? Yeah, diving boat. Now, no, straight up. Lots of people. That's right. So, maybe she's from Holland. She's too tall. They don't say good things come in tall packages, do they? What?
I like tall packages.
Yeah, right. Okay, fact.
Maybe because I'm so short. Tall. If anyone's short, they're probably like 12.
Forget about me hanging out with Nina. Trust me. No.
No.
Nothing gay driving a 5 litre V8 Lexus.
No.
No. Nothing gay about going to Byron Bay. Or actually, maybe a little bit.
Really?
Very liberal, multicultural. Very, well, I mean, it's accepted.
Being gay is like that.
I don't think so. There's the lighthouse. As this cyclist struggles to get up the hill. One of the only mountain bikes that doesn't have an electric motor anymore. We will just we'll find if we can get a park to just stop the stream, but entry into it's like a what do you mean entry?
Back there.
Oh, there's like it's like it's a tourist destination. Lots of tourist destinations. You have to pay a fee. Seems to be a bit of construction going on around here.
A little bit. What gave it away? The scaffolding? Is that us? I'm breathing heavy because I'm smelling the. Huh?
You're just breathing heavy. We're gonna stop the stream whilst we're stuck. The stream's already glitching out. It's still working, but it's glitching out. So I was just trying to get a nice view of the. So what happens is there's not a lot of car spots up here, and everyone wants to come up here. Right in front of you.
Gosh.
And-
You waiting for me to say it. Say, oh, I'm sorry.
I gave you a chance, but yeah. Any dingoes? I don't know. I don't even. Chimney. So many chimneys up here. Well, there's the lighthouse right in front of us, people. So we're actually going to shut the stream down here. Thank you for all those people that joined us, whether you're happy or not. And we made it to Byron with a couple of glitches, but we're here. So we will shut it down now, team.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Like and subscribe. It's free. And I hope that we see you next time. I really do.